My name's Scott Finlay, I'm 35. I was born and raised in Coatbridge. I'm the Scottish and British Sumo president. I run sumo wrestling within the UK. I discovered sumo when I was just a small boy in the mid-90s. So I turned the TV on and there it was. Just these behemoths and what looked like, you know, their underwear, like, what is going on here? And for then I was hooked. Sumo wrestling is one of the oldest, most traditional historical sports and forms of wrestling. Two men meet in the centre of the dohyo, which is the circle. They clash, they fight it out. The first one to touch the ground with any part of their body except for the soles of their feet or be pushed out of the dohyo loses. Clan Sumo started June 2022. Before me, there was only one other Scotsman who actually got involved in amateur sumo wrestling in Britain. Slowly but surely, we have become the strongest scene with the best wrestlers in the whole of Britain. Having the weight of a sport on your shoulders can be crushing. Like fighting a ginormous sumo wrestler, but see when you've got a team and family around you like I have, it's always a lighter task. The Scottish Nationals is like a brilliant event for all Scottish people that are interested in the sport of sumo. It's a smaller, more intimate competition that allows you to gain that wee bit of experience that you might need for the bigger stages, and of course, that is the starting point for everybody, which always leads to the bigger things in sumo. Don't change it up, don't nothing, because you don't need anything fancy. Basics are king.
My name's Christopher Mitchell-Leigh, I'm 31 years old and I work as a residential childcare worker. I'm a wrestler with Clan Sumo Scotland under Scott Finlay. He's my coach, and Clan Sumo Scotland is just a bunch of great folk who love doing sumo. We represent across Europe, across the world. I grew up as the youngest of three boys, two big brothers, both of which I'm bigger than now, goal achieved. We were always fighting when we were kids, you know, constantly fighting. And I think that kind of fueled my appetite for martial arts and stuff. Sumo's given me a focus. Physically, I was weightlifting before I went to sumo. And that was great because I'd see obviously muscular gains and stuff like that. That'd be really exciting. But I often find that training without purpose feels futile. So having that purpose again is lovely. You know, to actually get to sink my teeth into something and compete towards something and train for something. That was a big thing for me.
I'm glad he started sumo. You can be that size and not be strong. So I don't think it's just about size and getting in there and bumping people out of the ring. I don't think that for a minute, because technically he's lifting weights that are unearthly. The Christopher that you see now, there was always that wee version there, always. He was just the one that would crack the jokes. People radiate towards him, and he's been like that since he's been tiny. Made a kerfuffle at that point in his life, and he's been making a kerfuffle ever since. So that's Christopher.
My wife is super supportive. I couldn't have done it without her. Like, she's the silent assassin sitting on days on end on the computer with me doing all the work. We're a team. We make each other better.
In no way did I think it would take over my life. And it's just exploded. Every single aspect of our life, sumo comes into it somehow. I love it. I really do love it. Extremely proud of the kids for being involved. Leo has just progressed and turned into this young man that is confident in himself now. Paige is just a wee firecracker. She takes everything in her stride. She'll try anything that's in front of her.
My dad's sumo lifestyle, I actually think that it's really cool the amount of effort that he puts into it, because the way you need to pour so much time into to build something so big, you definitely need to love it to be able to do that.
His drive He's very hard working, and I aspire to be like him. He definitely does have that need to be the best.
My dad left my mum and they got divorced when I was 2. He left her high and dry to the point where we had nothing, and he never gave nothing either. If my mum didn't work, we didn't eat. 5 kids of our own to try and support, and no help for a father who picks 3 of the kids out of 5 to take out for a couple hours once a week. I can remember when I was 7, I asked him and he says, wait till you're 8. And then literally when I turned 8, he says, wait till you're 9. And when I was nearly 9, I asked him and he says I was nearly 9. And he ended up snapping at me and told me to stop fucking asking him because he's got enough on his plate with these 3 arseholes in the back. And he never came back into the street again after that because my mum said she was going to kill him. And he never did. That's literally all I ever got off my father my full life, and then he died when I was 10. And it just makes me want to be a better parent. But I was determined to be a good dad. Determined not to make him feel how I did.
I can't talk about him enough to people because nobody will truly understand for what he came for what he's doing now, just how out of this world like it really is that he's managed to build this for himself. The way he is as a dad, he's an absolute amazing dad in all aspects.
There's a million things to do for nationals. You've got so much administration when it comes to entries, insurances. You need to cover all of these things. You need to do this in a fair, impartial way. You need to be able to show your work. There's so much that actually goes into it.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling very confident about the Nationals. I've been training hard, and I think it's going to pay off. It's not just the idea of winning, but the idea of actually pushing myself to do it. To have a victory is awesome. Who doesn't want a victory? Come on now, but it's not the only driving factor, but it would be nice.
First, I want to say thanks very much for everybody coming out to watch the guys and support the guys doing this. Already we've grew for last year. Scotland was never the biggest country in sumo, that's what we're working hard to grow. But we already have nearly double the athletes that we had last year. So give yourselves a big hand for that, guys. So with that, I'll leave you to it, and we're about to get started in less than 2 minutes, alright? Brilliant, thanks very much. Okay, bronze has been decided, but we need to have a play-off for gold and silver. Haystacks versus Nicholas. 2025 Scottish Sumo Champion, Hista!
Feeling sore, man, but I'm very, very pleased with that. Getting beaten in that open, I was just like, no, I don't know if this is good. Nah, got the victory. To go out there and to hear people cheer against you, you do kind of go as the little boy and you kind of goes, oh. But, you know, but then I realised I am a gigantic man, and then they're sending people out to fight me, so they should cheer those people. That's a hard thing to do.
I absolutely loved it. And I can't deny the fact I loved it because I could see Christopher was, you know, winning there, but I also saw the camaraderie. I loved it and the rest of my family loved it as well.
The fact that my family come and support me is the biggest thing in the entire world to me. Because everything I've ever done, they've been there next to me. My family's like the best thing ever.
Nationals was shit hot, man. It was absolutely brilliant. It brought the community even more together, especially that wee after party with the chanko and the food and all of that. The whole point is to garner interest, let people gain experience and come together and taste the sport so that if it is something that you want to continue doing, that's your door. I mean, I'm not stopping at British Sumo President. I want to be the first ever Team GB coach for a sumo team in the Olympics. I've got big plans. My plans don't simmer down to retirement. There's so many things I've got to still work towards that are years in the making.